Now we're going to go into the next segment, which is all around the actual verbiage of the Go Safe Act. And I can't wait to show you this Go Safe. Go Safe.
Sounds like
this beautiful people, it could be that too. It could be. There's a lot of pickle references going on. Apple Jacks and pickles. It's a lot going on. But in the magazine, the magazine pantomime you mentioned earlier in another segment. This segment we're going to dive into, beautiful people, the actual Go Safe Act. So, Tim, without further ado, I've got to show you how meaningful and impactful this is. This is number 5, and Dr. Buttonpusher has it up. This is the Go Safe Act, the Gas-Operated Semi-Automatic Firearms Exclusion Act. That's what Gas Act, Go Safe Act.
They're really struggling to come up with something for Go.
Yeah, gas operated. Yeah.
Okay, so that means roller delay isn't in there. Cool.
Uh-huh.
Straight blowback, not an issue. Browning actions.
No, they make it all in there. Trust me, it's there. So the Go Safe Act is a common sense proposal, Tim, designed to protect communities from gun violence while safeguarding America's constitutional right to own a firearm for legitimate self-defense, hunting, and sporting purposes. That was such a good. This is where the
we're going to preserve your rights by taking them away.
Exactly.
I mean, you gotta love the wording.
Safe. They'll be so safe. They'll be so safe in this corner. You just can't touch them. Yeah. It's kind of like a 30-year bond. It's there. Trust me.
We're going to save your life by chopping your head off. I mean, come on, we're saving your life over here.
But look, the good news is after we chop your head off, you won't ever die.
Yeah. You're already dead. You're done. You fixed everything. Funny. Yeah.
We got this.
These people are amazing.
Exactly.
They are. Well, semi-automatic
gas.
Well, you know what? We'll just ditch the AR-15s and with the gas operation, and we'll just reconfigure them to roller delay, and then all of a sudden it's not a problem, and we can get around the Safe Act, just like we just changed the barrel shrouds and the flippy things that go up in 1994.
The flippy things. Well, yes. Well, let's go to number 6 because I got to show you this part. Then we get the flow chart. Then we get to play with crayons. So the Go Safe Act regulates firearms based on their inherently dangerous and unusual lethality of their internal mechanisms, as opposed to focusing on cosmetic features that manufacturers can easily modify, to your point earlier. If enacted, the bill will regulate the sale, transfer, and manufacture of gas-operated semi-automatic weapons by, here we go, establishing a list of prohibited firearms. Who doesn't love lists? I love lists. Preventing unlawful modifications to permissible firearms of the ones we allow you to have. Mandating that future gas-operated designs are approved before manufacture. And preventing unlawful firearms self-assembly and manufacturing. Tell me, good Lord. You know what that is? You know what this, like when I first read this sounded to me immediately like the gun control groups got in a room with these people and they said, here's what we want. We don't like ghost guns. We want a list of banned guns. We want a universal registry of where the guns are. But how do we use different language to not say those words? And this is what they came out with.
I know, right? I mean, so he originally was making it sound like, oh yeah, we're just going to, ban the magazine and make it a fixed magazine. Lock that sucker in at 10 rounds and everything's fixed. And if you got, some of the really nasty ones, you can keep them, because just by banning, magazines going forward, we're going to stop all crime in America. No, weird, huh? When they don't get the desired outcome that they pretend they want, then they're going to go for all your guns. But then, but they got to have that list, right? So, look, there's a list because in every assault weapons ban, there's a list. So instead of talking about the features, right? Instead of talking about the flippy thing that goes up and the barrel shroud and the pistol grip and the bayonet lugs, well, that's silly. We look dumb because they keep talking about cosmetic because that was our argument all along. So now they're just going to take it to the next level. We're not going to get into the minutia of cosmetics. We're just going to ban them by name.
Exactly.
Because they look scary. So good. Right? So we're going to ban them by name because
they do.
Yeah. But then they're going to say, but we're really doing it based on functionality and gas operation. And that is so funny because in 1994, the workaround was simply, put a thumb hole stock on it versus a pistol grip. Just take the bayonet lug off and we can still sell the AKs and the ARs. And that's what they did. And that infuriated them. So here's their next step in this silliness, but they only focused on gas operation because they don't know jack about guns. They don't realize that semi-automatics aren't all gas operated. But when your enemy's making a mistake, don't interrupt.
Let them. You know what, Tim? That was an excellent point. But we've come to the moment in this segment that I have been waiting for and longing for. They got out their crayons, Tim, and I have an infographic for you. And it is a flowchart of epic designs allow me to walk you through the flow chart, if I may.
Okay.
Because this is glorious.
I can't wait
All
to see
right.
this.
Oh, it's so tasty. This is number 7. Dr. Buttonpusher has it up. So here's the flow chart. What firearms are regulated? And we've got pretty colors. We've got orange, green, and red, Tim. So is the firearm semi-automatic? If yes, we got to go down the world some more. But if the firearm is not semi-automatic, sale, manufacture, and transfer of the firearm is not regulated. So if it's a single shot or bolt action, a pump, we're good. We're good. So that goes to the green side. But if you were that pesky semi-automatic, we had to go down the board game some more. So now the next question is the firearm gas operated? If you say no, then you're good. Go to the green zone.
Well, what's
but
funny
if you
is
said yes,
the first bubble and the second bubble are the same thing.
I know.
It's funny.
I know.
I don't even know what they're talking about. It's like,
no.
Is the firearm semi-automatic? Oh, yes. Then go over here. Is the firearm gas operated? Oh, no, not gas operation.
Not exactly. But we've got to continue down the candy cane board game. So I think we're going to just call the green zone over there. That's the sweet little ladder chute that jumps you right to the end of Candy Kingdom or whatever. So now we said yes on firearm gas operated. So now the next question is the firearm a recoil operated handgun, semi-automatic shotgun, or 22 caliber or less rimfire weapon? If yes, you get on that ladder of happiness. But if no, you got to go to the next step. So here's the next question. Does the rifle or shotgun have a permanently fixed capacity of 10 or less? 2, does the handgun have a permanently fixed magazine or capacity of 15 or less? If you said no, then the sale, manufacture, and transfer of the firearm is indeed regulated. But if you said yes, you get to go through the candy cane forest. So that right there, my friend, is the flow chart of tyranny that they've put forward as something easy to understand for everybody.
Talk about convoluted mess and not understanding how firearms work in the slightest. Wow.
Dude, it's so bad. It's
apparently
so
recoil operated firearms above 22 or 12 gauge or 410 or whatever shotguns, those are okay. But if they're 22 recoil operated, they don't understand anything. It's like they just look at a book, or they get on the internet and do 10 minutes of research and they think they're experts and they put out just moronic stuff like this. This is awesome. It'd be even better if
Isn't
it was
a great
Venn diagram, but this is pretty good.
It is pretty. I love a good flow chart.
And
with simple no and yes. And pick your own adventure.
And it's green. See how it moves from orange to green? It's green, folks. Gas operation. That's like farting cows. We can't have gases being expelled out there. They're greenhouse gases, and this is a green movement. This is to save the planet and the kids.
Oh,
and the yellow
green means go.
Purple-lipped frogs. I mean, this is all
green means go.
Green means go.
And as you know, if green means go and go means gas operated, ipso facto gun control.
And what happens? What happens?
It works
when none of this has any effect on anything, because it won't. The 94.
Well, it's also DOA.
Right. Well, yeah. But I mean, let's pretend that it has a snowball's chance. Okay. Much like the 94 ban did nothing. What's it going to do? And so when it does nothing, and we still have violent crime in America, because we will, well, what's the next step? Because this is what I always want to ask the anti-gunners. Like, okay. Let's play a game. Let's pretend that you got this bill passed. Okay. And then the bill does absolutely nothing. There's still crime in America, because there's going to be. Mm-hmm. What's your next step, or do you stop here? If we roll over and say, okay, we'll let you have this one, but it ends here, would you agree to that? Because when this does nothing to change the outcome, are you coming back to the well and you're going to go for the next law? You're going to take away the 10-round magazines, make them 5? Are you going to take away the direct blowback and the roller delays because they're not gas operated? We're going to go after those next time. Where does it stop? And they can't tell you where it stops, because it stops with you giving up everything you own.
Oh, 100%.
And you're completely
it stops
defenseless
with joining the modern era
in a country where the state has no obligation to protect you.
Right.
And where they turn violent criminals loose.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, legitimately, it stops when you're Australia, when you're Europe, when you are a 21st century modern socialist state that is a complete domination of individuals' rights whenever they need to.
But does it really stop there? Look at the UK, right? So they do all their little gun bans and stuff, right?
That's true.
But then what do they move on to after they're done?
Because it's true.
What do they move on to after the gun bans don't change the violent nature of their culture? Because people are stabbing each other and beating each other and walking into each other's homes because they know there's nobody in there with a firearm. What do? Well, then they start going after kitchen products, because I was told by somebody that lives in the UK that if you go to IKEA and buy a new knife set, you have to wrap it up, put it in the trunk of your car, take it straight home. If you dilly-dally around and stop and get lunch and they catch you with those knives, you could face charges. I mean,
can't be dilly-dallying.
They start to regulate stupid things like, well, you know, a 3.5 inch fixed blade is too dangerous. You can go 2 inches. Oh, well, we had somebody stabbed yesterday with a 2 inch blade. We got to go to 1 3/4. This is what they'll focus on. It will never stop, folks. It will never stop.
No, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But you know
the
what?
Solutions don't
you
work.
Know what does?
And the push for control never ends.